I think there's a lot there, and I think that you're a charismatic and knowledgeable guy, and I don't think that there's a dull moment in this show or any show that we would have with you, Dave. I sincerely
Hey,
thank you for coming on.
I appreciate it, Seamus, and I just want to throw it back at you to say you are the most indoctrinated, dumbest guy I've ever met on this type of topic. All right?
So much.
All right.
Yeah.
No,
Don't be
I
alarmed.
when I first started doing research on flat Earth, I met Brian, and I just was thinking about it today, and I'm like, oh, he should maybe come on. He'd be fun because he loves Dave.
Yeah, Brian, you're a big
I've
fan
watched
of
several
Dave.
hours of Dave.
Yeah. Well, who hasn't? Now,
I know.
what is it that attracted you to Dave Weiss? We'll start with you, Brian. What's your infatuation with the Weiss man?
Well, you know, if you know how to use DuckDuckGo as a search engine to get around the Google algorithms, you find amazing content. So that's how I found Dave. And just now I haven't really dove into your channel, but I've seen you on this specific topic, and you do a great job representing you know, what a lot of us have come to believe.
Wow, and so you're a believer is what I'm gathering.
I mean,
from your inference.
Yeah, but there's only certain people I'll talk to about it just because what comes with it.
Yeah, you know, get over that because that's changed. I literally wear a shirt that says Flat Earther on it. Okay, a giant one, because there's no more time to select who you're talking about, who you talk to this about. So the idea, I'm trying to make a point, is we don't know everything. There's so much that we're speculating about. But the one thing that we know for sure is that we don't live on a spinning ball. That's something you can say for sure. Now,
Well,
if you say,
can
hey,
I
Dave,
object to that? I object.
you
All right,
object?
just for the record. I certainly, I most certainly object to that point.
Sustained.
I reject your objection, and I boot you from the room.
Do continue, because this is the theme of today's show. And if you don't know what today's show is about, we are talking about the widely publicized and controversial, sometimes unpopular opinion that our Earth, in fact, is not a spinning globe. Imagine that. Imagine that we are not on a planet that revolves around the sun. And now we have who I would consider to be the Michael Jordan of this theory, Dave Weiss, to educate all of us on how and why this has come to be. First of all, Dave, when did you discover that the Earth is not round?
I have the same story as everybody. It was 2015, and I was forced to look at it. I didn't believe it. I wouldn't watch a 1-minute video. Dumbest thing ever. There's a million proofs of the globe. There's none of flat Earth. And you'd have to be an idiot to even consider looking at it. But then I was forced to look, and here I am. My entire life has changed, and I've dedicated my life to spreading this message because even with all the chaos going on in the world, all of it ties back to this deception, the globe deception, not the flat Earth deception. Flat Earth is reality. Flat Earth is everything our common senses tell us. Everything, every sense tells us, and only nonsense tells us otherwise. So I'm going to ask,
what happened in 2015?
2015. So
you lost me there. Was that a monumental year for?
Well,
for
it was. There's always been flat earthers, but I was doing a conspiracy podcast. People started sending me flat Earth stuff. I banned them from my social media for being so stupid to even suggest that I look at something like that. And then I was forced to look, and I went in with the attitude to debunk it. And that's how you become a flat earther. And it didn't take long. So in 2014, 2015, 2016, you watch a flat Earth video, YouTube recommends all of the other new videos that were going up. Then, you know, when you search flat Earth in YouTube, they used to have a search result. Hey, 12,000, 20,000, 100,000 results for this thing. And we were keeping track of it. We were surpassing all of the popular pop stars, movie stars. We passed the President Trump, at that time. And then YouTube took down the scoreboard. They literally removed it.
A lot of evidence to support that the Earth is flat in 2015, and that's
tons.
Now, would you say that you found more evidence to support that the Earth is not flat than the evidence that already existed prior to this discovery?
At the end of the show, I'm going to give you a chance to win 3 Bitcoins. All
Oh,
you
it's
have
up to 3.
it's
Got
3.
my-
It's 3 now. Yeah.
The Earth
Yeah.
is flat.
Yeah, no. You have to
got my attention.
Yeah, you have to supply me with 1 proof of the globe. Just 1,
Oh,
and you
just
get 3
one?
Bitcoins.
All right, I'm going to get all 3 of those Bitcoins by the end of the show. And if you can
Okay.
convert those to Shiba, I would.
That's-
I would
So
actually.
we're talking
prefer that.
we're talking like 190K.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You're
Whatever
going to
it
get
is,
it.
it's
You're not
fine.
going to get
It's
it.
swing.
You're not going to get
So
it.
Dave, the thing I'm wondering, so the flat earth movement, that's all within the last 10 years. What about 20 years ago and 30 years ago? No one ever even spoke about it?
No, not untrue. You think about it, before the internet came around, who are you going to tell, right? There's books, but who's buying a book on flat earth when you're not interested in that? The YouTube and Twitter and the internet gave us the ability to put something out and have it spread worldwide instantaneously. We didn't have that in the 1990s,
Do
So
you ever have any doubt?
I have doubt on what the exact model of the flat earth is. Absolutely. We're learning new stuff every day. Anything beyond the shoreline of Antarctica, anything above 70 miles above us is speculation, because nobody can go there. Right.
So what was the smoking gun, though, is what I want to get. I want that aha moment where you said, "Oh shit."
So
Hold on.
Yeah. So I watched a lot of YouTube videos. Where do you get your information from? YouTube? Well, YouTube is a
That's
source
sus.
of, no, let me tell you something. YouTube is a source of information, disinformation, good information, nonsense. It's just a platform. So I saw all these videos about how we can see too far. And I said, okay. So I did the math. I said, all right, if a boat is, 10 miles away, how much curvature should there be? And I thought it would be like a couple of feet, right? According to the globe math, it's 66 feet. 66 feet. But we can zoom in on things that are beyond 10 miles away, okay, where they should be 66 feet below the curve. If the Earth is a ball, 24,901 miles around, a number all ball defenders don't even know, that's the circumference of the world, a 6-foot tall person standing at the edge of calm water should have a physical horizon no more than 3 miles away. Weather conditions could make it shorter, but they can't make it longer, right? Fog, you can't see a person 10 feet from you, right? A hazy day, the horizon might look a mile from you, okay? But if you're 6 foot tall on a perfectly clear day, the horizon can be no farther than 3 miles away, but we can see things way farther than that.
But that's interesting, though, is that theory, it doesn't hold a lot of water when you talk about a sunset. Now, a sunset is interesting because the shape of the sun and the size of the sun doesn't change as it disappears behind the.
It doesn't?
Let's not. Well, Joe, do we have
So,
something?
Hold on.
to
I've got
support my
everything
argument?
right here. Here is a sunset filmed in Afghanistan. Super dry, super clear.
That was creepily quick.
Yeah, I have, because there's only 20 dumb questions and you have them all. Okay. So, right. There are no, when someone says, I've got a dumb question for you, they're all dumb. Okay.
I only had like 4 dumb questions.
Look at this sun. It's going away and it's getting smaller. Now why does it get smaller? Why doesn't it get?
I've never seen a sun get smaller.
I know, because where are you watching?
And I watch the sunset every night.
Over the water. So as the sun goes away, it gets magnified by the moisture in the air. There's many reasons, many different ways to see a sunset. So let me show you another one, if I could find it. So this is simulating the atmosphere. This is a Farrell lens here, and it magnifies something as it goes into the distance. So as the sun is getting smaller, as the sun is going farther, it's getting smaller. So as we pull the sun away, watch, it's on this little dolly here.
Mm-hmm.
And over here, if you watch, it's shrinking. It's going down. And it's getting bigger as it gets farther away, smaller. So let me show you a little longer example. Here's the thing. I can, everything I'm going to show you, take a minute, 2 minutes to talk about it. All right. But belief is easy. You can say, "Oh, the sun doesn't get smaller. I've never seen it, therefore it doesn't exist." You're done. Go smoke a joint, right? Go take a
It's
nap.
just there's a lot of people lying about the
No,
Earth.
no. See, you are either
Pilots.
they're not lying.
astronauts,
They're not. Well, all the astronauts are lying. That's true, except maybe Don Pettit.
astrophysicists.
He's actually retarded. All right,
Scientists,
Seamus.
professors. They're all lying, and they're all kind of supporting this very
they?
old and outdated theory about
Are they?
this world and our planets being global structures that have been formed through gravitational pull.
Would you like me to comment on that?
I do.
Who becomes a teacher?
Well, I mean, that's just. I mean, let's not cut into teachers. I mean, it's
No,
not just
who-
teachers,
who be-
astronauts, it's physicists.
Hold on. Let's
I
just
could
start.
become a teacher. You could become a teacher.
Well, you mentioned all of these things, all scientists. Who becomes the professor, the science professor? It's the one that memorizes and regurgitates the information in the textbooks the best. Then
Well,
they
hold on. Let me rebut that. It's not just that. It's people who test. It's people who test. Do you ever test? any of this?
absolutely 100%. That's what I do.
So you test the theory and you achieve results. The way
absolutely
science
100%.
works.
100 science.
Give me an example of a test in which you have set up a control system and achieved a result that contradicts the fact that the Earth is, or the theory that
We
the Earth
went
is not.
and we measured the distance to objects out on the water. We put camera at a certain height. We took the calculations for the globe Earth based on the radius that nobody knows how they got it. And we can see too far. That's a test. We can see too far, period.
You can
Okay.
see too far.
We can see too far.
Is the see too far like the thing that most people can't get by?
No, that's one that usually it sucks people in. Like I saw all these videos of it and I said, well, you know what? This looks really well documented, but I got to go do it myself. So I spent $1,000 on equipment, went out there, zoomed in. I could see things way too far. I could see things with my naked eye that I shouldn't be able to see. I'm here in Connecticut. I can see underneath the Whitestone Bridge, which is 25 miles away. Well, the curvature says that I shouldn't even be able to see the top of the stanchions, and I could see underneath the deck.
Well, I've prepared a rebuttal for your sunset theory, and Joe, if you wouldn't mind playing that.
So
The most
Explain.
hilarious thing about Flat Earth is that the most mundane,
Oh,
everyday
boy.
observations make absolutely no sense in your model. Like a sunset. A small sun above a flat Earth would simply recede high in the sky and get smaller and smaller until it
is what
fades
you just
away.
showed me.
It absolutely would not retain the same angular size and set below the horizon. It stays the same size because it's unbelievably far away, and it sets below the horizon because the Earth is a sphere that is turning. Even a toddler can understand this. It's so blatantly obvious that you have to resort to your typical ad hoc antics, talking about refractive effects that defy all logic and somehow magically apply to the sun but nothing else. Or even better, some of you talk about a dome with the sun on the other side that produces some bizarre optical effect. Apart from the sheer absurdity of this magical dome that no one has ever seen or touched, it creates big problems for you because you also claim that the sun and moon perform other kinds of magic to push the air and water around, to get tides and storms and what have you. That would require that it is inside the dome. So which is it? Is the sun outside of the magical non-existent dome so you can pretend to get the sunset? Or is it inside the magical non-existent dome so you can pretend to get the tides? It can't be both. Or if you bail on the dome and say it's just water, how do all those water molecules that make up around 1% of the atmosphere produce 1,000 times greater refractive effect than actual liquid water?
all right.
How
So
does the appearance of a sunset never vary at all, whether it's dry or humid or raining?
Okay.
Why does nothing else but the sun behave that way? Show me a projectile or a plane going below the horizon as it recedes. Or show me this dome and explain the phenomena with more than buzzwords. Do something to explain a sunset. Do anything besides making idiotic videos with action movie soundtracks that contradict middle school level science.
hey, Seamus, excellent research on your part. You Googled flat Earth, and the number one thing that Google delivered to you was Professor Dave. Have you looked into him? Is he a professor? Do you know why he's the number one hit when you search for flat Earth? That that during the Senate hearings, they said they were going to hide flat Earth results and feed you what they want to feed you. Okay, not Professor Dave
Well,
is
all right, so
a
fine.
paid
So
show.
that-
So I will
Professor Dave's an
answer
asshole.
every single thing in there.
What
So
did
hang
he
on.
say that you disagree with?
Here's the thing. I'm going to explain every single thing in there, but you cannot interrupt me. If you want to say something, let me know. I'll let you interject, no problem. But you have to hear what I'm saying. Okay.
Right.
So he
Well,
said that the sunset, no matter how you see it, no matter what the weather conditions, never ever change. Well, I just showed you a sunset where it does shrink. Okay. I can show you another sunset where it fades out into nothing. Okay.
That's a Paul McCartney video, though.
No. This is not a Paul McCartney video. I put Paul McCartney. So I put Paul McCartney in there because the lyrics, the fool on the hill sees the sun going down, but the eyes in his head see the world spinning round. This is a video of the sun going away, right? I can show you other videos where
help me. Have you ever seen the sun go away, Todd? Like he's showing you right now. Help me. So I'm not the only one.
No, so what exactly is happening there, Dave?
Okay, so what you're seeing here is the sun moving away. It looks like it's going down because of perspective. Right. When you're standing under a streetlight that's over your head, the ones down the road are at eye level, but they're both at the same height. So you watch it go down. I'm going to show you a demonstration of how it actually works. But this is the sun just going away. You have to believe that you're falling over backwards faster than the speed of sound to see this. Now, Professor Dave just said, are you going to pay attention, Sean, or are you looking up other stuff to come back at me with? Because I'm not going to present if you're not going to listen.
Oh, I'm listening.
All right.
I hear everything you're saying.
So did you see the sun just go away? Did you see that it looked different than not Professor Dave just said it never looks different? I just showed you that it looks different. Strike one. Okay. Now let's go to why it shrinks. Well, here we go. And this is one you have to pay attention to. Why is this train car shrinking? Because it's going away. It's getting smaller. So that's what they say. But this is at your eye level. At your eye level. Okay. When something is at the same level as you and it goes away, it goes in a straight line away, it shrinks and it goes away. Here are some straight lines in the hallway, but over here, they look like they're going down, but they're really parallel. They look like they're going down because they're away from you and they're going away. So here's a person watching the sun go, and it's just going to go away, but the way they see it, it makes it look like it's going down due to perspective. So here comes the animation. Give it a second. Right? This is an orthographic side view, which you don't really see, but this is what the observer sees. Now the sun's remaining the same size. Why does it remain the same size? It's because it's already elevated. So here's the train car. It's already elevated, and as the train moves, it really doesn't shrink very much. As it's going into the distance, there is atmospheric moisture and everything, which will magnify it. It's different. Sometimes it gets bigger. Sometimes it gets smaller. Here's a ball. One of them's over here, very small, because it's far away at the same level. One of them's here, very big, because it's close, just like the train car, far train car, close train car. Now, I'm going to lift the camera up, not any closer to the other one. I'm just going to lift it up, which means that we're going to be elevated when we see this. And without getting any closer to this ball, both balls become the same size. So here's our sun. If I rolled this ball down the track, it would stay the same size. It's getting farther and farther away from me. That's exactly how we see the sun.
Okay. Can I jump in now? So I appreciate the science that you're trying to demonstrate for me. I kind of think that you're proving my point, though, and I'm saying that the sun doesn't go away; it doesn't get smaller. It just goes down. Well,
I just showed you that.
Regardless of that, I kind of want to set that aside and get to the bigger picture. Why are they lying to us?
Well, hold on. I want to address. You brought up Professor Dave. I want to address those points. Here's another one, and you've never seen this either. This is filming west from the East Coast, below freezing, super clear day. The sun was up here. Are you looking? Right. And it was good in 5 minutes time. It went down, 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 down. Now, if we were spinning, it would just keep on going, but it didn't. It went down, 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 and then it stopped. And it sat here. And this is sped up 2,500%. It sat here for 10 minutes. Now, my friends at the beach saw it set from the bottom up 10 minutes earlier, but it sat here and it just faded into the thickness of the soup. Okay. And I'm going to show you how that happens. Here it is again. It just faded out. Now, whether it's in focus or not, doesn't matter. Super clear day, and it just faded out. But the more important thing is it stopped going down. That's impossible on a helio-nonsensical model.
Where's
Look
it
at
going though? I mean,
Yeah,
It's
those
going.
graphics
It's going around the Earth. It circles around. I'll show you. I'll show you how it goes around. But let me show you. This is a spot in Illusion, France. It's a very famous viewing spot because when you look out over the ocean, you would a baller would say this is the physical horizon. But out here is Mount Canigou, 175 miles away. At this distance, the top of Mount Canigou should be a mile below the curve, according to globe math. Now, we don't see Mount Canigou because the sunlight that's bouncing off of Mount Canigou cannot push through the thickness of the atmosphere. It's not bright enough, right? At night, you wouldn't see anything because there's no light, but the sunlight bouncing off of it is not bright enough to see through the thickness of the atmosphere, even on a clear day. But twice a year, when the sun is in its migratory path between the two tropics, it lines up with Mount Canigou, and all of a sudden, you can see it. Here is Mount Canigou. The top, the very highest point right there, should be a mile below the curve. But there it is. It's not a mirage because as the sun goes away, Mount Canigou is above your eye line and it will block out the sun. It's not a mirage. We can see too far. This should be, the top should be a mile below the curve.
Now, do you have a map of the Earth, the flat Earth that we can
Do
see?
you have a map of your globe Earth?
Yeah, and it's to scale.
No, it's
to
not.
scale.
The globe
It sure
Earth
is.
the globe Earth is admitted by Globers to be the worst map ever. The continents are the wrong size. They're in the wrong place, right? If you want to look at globe math, I mean, if you want to really
You need
look
to
at,
tell ways.
well, Waze is just going on roads. I mean, that's easy. When you're flying from the two locations in the south, why does it go all the way up here, right?
Mhm.
And the answer is southern flights, long distance southern flights, cross the equator twice usually. Okay, but this is what it looks like on a flat Earth map. It's a straight line. That's why it crosses. Why doesn't a flight from two northern locations ever cut into the south? Never, ever, ever do they do that. Okay, here's one from Buenos Aires to Johannesburg. Goes all the way up to Amsterdam on the globe. Ridiculous. This is why it's on a flat Earth. Right?
So are the other planets round, or are there not other planets?
There are not other planets. So
There are no. So we reject space entirely.
100%.
Okay. So let me.
Have
cut
you
to
ever
the chase.
seen another planet?
It's funny that you ask. You see this thing right here, Beck? Let me show you something. I have what's called a telescope. I don't want to move it off its point, but yeah, I can look up in a telescope and I see what's called the moon. I see several planets.
So you see the moon. So what? So the moon.
These are all round balls in the sky.
All
Now,
right. So
I
are these
liken
all?
up
Wait,
the
are these
delusion.
all round balls? Is this round ball? Is that a round ball? Is this one? Is this one a round ball? Is this one a round ball? It looks round. Is it a round ball or
It
not?
looks a lot like the thing astronauts are saying they've gone to.
So
and can
we're
confirm
going
is
to
a
talk
round
about
ball.
that, right? It's flat. Is this a round ball? So what I'm saying is, unless you can touch it and measure it, you can't tell me what shape it is. And even if it is round, what difference does that make? What shape are the lights in your ceiling? And does that dictate the shape of your floor? It does not.
Dave, why are they lying to us?
You want to get into that now?
I
I
think
don't want
that's
to
the
end the
point.
show. It's the point of the show, though. I think, why are so many people, what are they achieving? Why
Well-
do they want me to believe I live on a round planet as
Yeah.
opposed to a flat
Let's-
one? And
let's-
what's in it for them?
Let's go a little farther though on some of the proofs. You brought up astronauts. So let's just totally take that apart. This is what Mars really looks like. If you actually use science, there's a thing called the inverse square law of light. Every time you double the distance to a light, it's a quarter of the brightness. Okay, so think about this: if you're on Mars, are you closer to the sun or farther than from the sun than the Earth in the heliocentric model?
Further.
Further. So the sun, if you were on Mars, the sun would be smaller than if you were on Mars, you look at the sun, it would be smaller than the sun that we see. Correct?
Mhm.
Okay. How about Jupiter? Is that farther? It's farther, just in case you're not sure. Jupiter's farther, right? So NASA shows us, this time lapse over a day or two going into Jupiter. Jupiter is a gassy planet, and the sun is almost as small as a star, maybe a big star. So somehow, now if you go out, the Jupiter's been in the night sky. It is brighter than anything in the sky other than the moon. It's the brightest star out there. You have to believe that a distant, tiny little sun is lighting up a reflective planet, a gassy planet. That light is traveling all the way back to Earth, and it's brighter than any star in the sky. That's just impossible. Do the math, and it makes no sense. Do the math on the moon, on the brightness of a full moon. If we look at the full moon and it's only 1 lumen, I think it's more than that when there's a full moon. If we look at the brightness of the full moon and you go halfway to the moon, it'll be 4 lumens. If you go halfway again, it's 16. Halfway again, it's 64. Right? By the time you got to 100 miles from the sun, or from the moon, it would be brighter than we see the sun from Earth. But we see this astronaut, this astro-actornaut, standing on this dusty, dirty ball that somehow gets brighter. Its reflection gets brighter as it travels 238,000 miles to Earth. These are scientific impossibilities.
Now, this is an unpopular opinion. Would you agree with that, Todd?
It's not an opinion. I'm showing you science, and you're denying science.
It's an unpopular opinion in terms of what most people in society subscribe to. I think we can all agree to that.
So you believe
no. So hold on. I'm getting to my point. I listen to you now. Don't cut me off. So my point is this: it's not the first unpopular opinion that you've subscribed to and that you've professed to, right? I mean, you have a couple of wild opinions about 9/11 and Sandy Hook, don't you?
What does that have to do with the shape of the Earth?
Oh, nothing at all. I'm just trying to kind of grasp what kind of makes you tick, so that I can understand what gets you to this point.
Truth makes me tick.
Yeah. So there's a couple of instances, I think, in your history where you have documented false truths that we've come to understand as 9/11 and Sandy Hook. Can you tell us about that also?
So you want to talk about 9/11? So you believe that 2 planes knocked down 7 buildings in New York City?
I thought it was 2.
Well, you don't even know about 9/11. So why are you even bringing it up? You don't know that 7 buildings fell. You don't know about Building 6. You don't know about Building 7. Building 7 is public knowledge, and you don't even know about that. And so you're telling me that my opinions. I
don't know your opinion on 9/11.
You believe that 2 planes knocked down 7 buildings. Another plane magically disappeared and vaporized along with its engines into the Pentagon, but left books and wooden desks alone. You believe that a plane crashed in Pennsylvania and it liquefied the ground and went so deep and then it re-solidified that they can never dig it out. This is what you believe if you believe the official story.
So Cliff Notes, what happened on 9/11? Nothing.
I don't know. No. The official story is a conspiracy theory with which is actually a wild, insane conspiracy theory that anybody. I mean, the official story on Shanksville is the plane hit the ground so hard that the ground opened up, liquefied, swallowed the plane, and then solidified where they can't dig it out. That's the official story. And that's what you must believe.
No, I don't have a lot of technical understanding of what happened. I just know that 9/11 happened, and I don't know that you think it happened, kind of like you don't think we really live on a globe. And I don't think that you subscribe to that somebody killed kids at Sandy Hook either. Am I right or am I wrong?
Well, have you looked into it? Have you looked into anything?
I wasn't there. I'm trusting the sources that.
Well, you trust the government. Right, you trust the government.
I trust a lot of entities like the government, the FBI, the police department, the reporters that were there, the cameras that were over.
What reporters were there? You know any of them?
Yeah, I don't. I'm not going to go into the semantics as to who, but what I'm
here's
getting at is this.
If you want to talk about any of those things,
hold on. It's kind of hard for me to discern flat Earth from everything else. From a credibility perspective, what are the odds that we've been lied to about the shape of the Earth, 9/11, Sandy Hook, anything else? I'm having a hard time understanding, how many more things that I thought were true are not true.
Probably none of the stuff that you believe is true is true. I would say that.
I'm a true ignoramus.
Yeah, for sure. You are ignorant, and by the end of this podcast, you'll be willfully ignorant. If you want to learn about 9/11, Sandy Hook, or any of those other things, all of the videos that have been censored off of YouTube can be found at stoplookthink.com. Now, you'd have to stop, you'd have to watch the video, you'd have to process the information to understand it. I don't know if you're willing to do that.
Well, it's a lot to absorb. I mean.
Well, it's easier just to believe. It's easier just to believe.
Like you should have picked one.
Well, no,
You know?
I don't pick any of these. I just look for truth. Okay. I look
You
for
need
truth.
to find
You
it,
believe.
too.
Belief is the enemy of knowing. Belief is easy. You can just believe what the mainstream news tells you and you're good. Right? Go get your injection, go do the whole thing. Whatever you want.
Oh,
Believe it.
What's happening with vaccines?
Oh Jesus.
What do you mean what's happening with them?
Yeah, I want to know your opinion on the pandemic.
Oh, here we
and
go.
Vaccines and
Well, if you read my sweatshirt, it's literally an intelligence test. What vaccines are you talking about? Because I don't know of any vaccines that there are
So all of us
for the
that think we're
pandemic.
living on a globe and that we're in a pandemic and that Sandy Hook kids got shot and 9/11 happened, we have low IQ and you have
No. You're ignorant. You're ignorant.
We're ignorant.
You're ignorant.
Why?
Yeah,
So
I was
then-
ignorant. I was ignorant until I did the work, and then I
It's a lot of work.
educated myself. I know. I'm willing to do the work. Ignorant people remain ignorant because they're unwilling to do the work.
Oh, okay. I mean, fair enough. It seems to be an overwhelming amount of misinformation.
So let's just flip the
going
tide
back
back
all the
to
way to
you.
elementary school and beyond.
Well, here's the thing. In the 1920s, they were still teaching flat Earth here in America in public schools and across the world. It was the whole our history, all of it is a lie, right?
I thought Aristotle said it was round.
Well, Aristotle, do you know that Aristotle was even a real person? Right? All of
I
these
wasn't there. Were you
correct.
there?
Neither was I. But I've interviewed a 102-year-old woman back in February of 2020, and she said she was taught the Earth was flat in the
She
1920s.
knew Aristotle?
She said she was taught that the Earth is flat in the 1920s. Her name was Ruth, and she told me what they taught her in public school in Connecticut. And then we found newspaper articles from the New York Journal, which was I believe, the predecessor to the New York Times, talking about teachers being persecuted for trying to teach the globe model in school when everyone knew the Earth was flat.
All right. One last
Dave-
thing from me,
Dave,
and
is
then
it-
I'm going to
okay.
turn it over to everyone. I got one last thing, and I know I've dominated the show, and I don't mean to talk over anybody, but the flat Earth map would have one location on the furthest left and another location on the furthest right. What are those
No.
two locations?
I don't know what you're talking about. So the flat Earth is not a disk floating in space. It's not a Mercator map floating in space. What the flat Earth is, we live in what I call our local pond, right? So we're not on a ball, right? All of these continents, all of these islands are surrounded by water, but large bodies of water need a container. You can't have water without a container. Well, that container is Antarctica, right? They tell us Antarctica is a little island at the bottom of the globe. It's the highest land on Earth. Weird. Maybe that's why it's at the bottom, so the globe flipped over, right? But it's not. Antarctica is the highest land because it is the shoreline of our world pond. So which corner are you telling me about? What's out
one.
here in the outer
Pick
space?
one.
Well, there is no corner.
Pick two
It-
opposite sides and tell me
any-
how far away they are.
well,
Pick
it-
any two opposite sides. I don't give a shit which ones, but just make sure they're complete opposites and tell me which ones they are and how far away they are.
I don't know how far they are. How would I know? I can't measure it. Right? Look at the plane flights. Plane flights will tell you, nobody flies from Santiago and pops up over in Australia. It's never been done, right? It's never been done. Why is that? Why do planes from this is circumnavigation has been done east and west billions of times, right? No one has done it south. So they were going to do it a few years ago. This ZQ pilot said he's going to go from from north to Alaska to California, out here, these islands up here, Santiago, then to the South Pole. And then they was going to come around, but he went to the South Pole, said the weather was too bad, turned around, went up to Brazil and went around. And they still gave him the record for southern circumnavigation. Well, this is all he did. He went just around here. This is not circumnavigation. He just sailed around the lake. That's it. He went to the end of the street, touched the pole, turned around and came back. Nobody has gone south and ever come back. Circumnavigation can only be done east and west, right? At the center of the flat Earth is a magnetic force. All compasses point to the center. So as I push this compass west, I have to keep turning. West is a circle. This doesn't prove the Earth is flat because it's the same on a globe. Okay. West is a circle because the compass always has to point towards the center. If I go
Pilots
east,
are always turning right.
they don't know it. Absolutely 100%. Even on a globe, if you're dead reckoning east or dead reckoning west, you are turning to the north to
Wouldn't
maintain
I
that
feel
heading.
that on the plane though?
If you were in a 100-mile around a track, 100 miles around, you wouldn't know. You would think you're on a straight road. The only thing that would tell you were turning is the background, right? Pilots don't notice it because they're not even flying the plane. Turn to 729, press the button, and the plane goes to 729. Okay. Now, if I try to dead reckon west without turning, actually I just did it. If I try to dead reckon, I'm going south if I don't correct any direction. So now I'm going south. If the Earth was a globe, I should pop up over here. No one's ever gone south from Africa, south from there. I go north. As soon as I pass the North Pole, I'm now going south.
Can I hold you to that? No one's ever gone south from Africa?
100%.
Okay.
No one's ever gone south and popped up on the other side of the world. Never been done.
Have a part 2 of this.
Never been done.
The person that went south from Africa. Go ahead.
Never been.
So Dave, what about these like satellite companies that spend billions of dollars doing the satellites? Do they not know that they're not being sent to space? What's going on with that?
Yeah, so some of them don't know, and some of them are totally in on it. There's a university, I forget which one it is, that owns a satellite, right? They own the satellite, but anytime the students want to access it, they have to send a request to NASA, and then 2 weeks later, NASA sends them some data, says it's from the satellite. Satellites aren't falling around a ball Earth. Satellites are hanging from helium balloons. NASA controls all of the helium in the world, is the largest consumer of helium, and they launch tens of thousands of these things hanging from balloons.
They must have to refill them.
No, these things go up. You watch, NASA has information, you can look it up, where they say these balloons can stay up there for years. But guess what?
NASA exists, but they're just there to proliferate the idea of space.
100%.
But what about the other countries? I mean, they're in on it too. I mean,
So that's a great question. Back in the 1800s, there was a worldwide civilization here. There was some reset that happened in the late 1800s, and the people that took over the Earth decided to divide and separate. That's how they depower us. So they divided us up by countries, and they divided the countries up by states, and they divided that up by religions, and they divided by sexes, by genders, they're dividing the genders now. They're dividing sports teams, political parties, vaxxed, unvaxxed. They're just divide, because that's how they depower us. If we're not together, we're less powerful than when we're apart. So again, to believe in satellites is actually insane, because we're here in the heliocentric model that you believe in. Do you know how fast the Earth is spinning? The rotation of the Earth at the equator. How fast is it spinning?
A full
1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, just over 1,000 miles an hour. Correct.
Yep.
How fast is it orbiting around the sun? How fast? It goes around once a year, but do you know the speed?
Yeah.
66.6 thousand miles an hour.
Yeah, Seamus. But these are questions for Seamus because he's the one defending the globe.
That's right. True.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no problem. And then
no. I'm defending it on a very high level.
A high unresearched level. I got you. I'm trying to get you to a lower
basic,
level.
Basic primitive
Right.
level, primitive understanding that I think 99% of Americans have, which is this is what makes sense to us. This is what we have heard from accredited sources.
What accredited sources?
Why should we not trust those? Do you believe in having an accredited source of experts that on anything?
If they're accredited, show me anything that's accredited. How did we get the radius of the Earth? The radius is from the center of the Earth to the edge. And then if you move, there's your curvature of the Earth. How did they determine the radius of the Earth? Without R, they have everything else falls apart. How did they get the radius of the Earth?
Dave, I want to say one more thing about satellites. To me, that doesn't make sense. So if the satellites are in outer space, when I'm at a house, the GPS knows like the very next house. I think the way it triangulates, don't you think it would give me like the next town? Like it doesn't add up that it's in outer space to me.
It's all the GPS is all done from cell towers, just tower-based radio, land-based
5G
towers.
network.
Land-based towers. The whole thing with those Elon Musk's thing he's putting in space, I don't know what's up with that. Maybe they're putting drones up there. Maybe they got solar-powered drones up there. They got balloons up there. I don't know anything about it because I'm not there. But all I know is we had the Loran system when I was a kid. And then all of a sudden they said it's now GPS. It's the same thing, just with a graphic overlay. When I go to places that are away from the land, it doesn't work anymore. Why is there no GPS over the Southern Ocean? Why is there no GPS over the Amazon jungle? Why is there no GPS between California and Hawaii where there's no place to put a tower? Well, that's the answer, because there's no place to put a tower. So
you ever
just
heard of Eratosthenes?
so what about him?
Well, didn't he discover the radius of the Earth?
No, how did he do it? So this is how they discovered the radius of the Earth. One day, Venus transited the sun, and since Venus is about the same size as the Earth, they watched it when it started on the East Coast versus when it started on the West Coast. They did some math, and they figured out the distance of the sun, 93 million miles away. Well, guess what? Venus is the size of Earth. Who figured that out? Venus is the light in the sky. We don't even know if it's terra firma. We don't know how far it is. It's certainly not the distance that they tell us, right? But so let's just finish this. You know how fast we're chasing the sun?
Mm-hmm.
We're chasing it at 500,000 miles per hour. So let's just put that into perspective, okay? So this is the hypersonic sled. It's going to go by at Mach 8.6. Watch this. Mach 8.6. Don't blink. There it goes. I'll show it again. Yeah. It's going by at Mach 8.6. So our orbit of the sun is 10 times faster than this, okay?
Yeah, but that's small and the Earth is large.
Hang on. Let me finish my point.
I mean, that matters.
It matters. We're orbiting 10 times faster than that, and we're chasing the sun 90 times faster than that. Unfathomable. What does this lake tell you? Are we spinning and speeding up and slowing down and orbiting and corkscrewing and going all these ridiculous speeds? Or does this lake tell you something else? Nature doesn't lie. Okay. What does this tell you? This tells you that the Earth is stationary and it's not moving. Okay. And then we're not going in a straight line. We're going in a curved line. Go ahead.
Is there a theory that explains that available in science? Could I find it?
Explains this?
Yeah. That there's a still lake. Is there a theory in science that exists now?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about yours. I'm talking about
I have no idea. There is no explanation. You could say, well, the Earth is so big and gravity is so strong that it holds the lake perfectly still. That's not science. That's just a stupid statement. That's just ridiculous.
Hey, Dave. Oh, sorry. Mars, Greenland.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. Well, after this, I was gonna say, after we did the last show, I was talking to Jedi after, and we both said the one thing that we found strange was we felt like the astronauts, all the gravity stuff really was faked for some reason. Can you show us that after?
Oh yeah, sure. So this is from NASA's website from Mars, and you can tell it's Mars because it got a little selfie of itself. They always show us a little selfie. Okay. This is from Greenland. It's the same hill, clouds, rocks, paths, same thing. Okay. Why does NASA have a picture that's sepia toned of Greenland on their website, pretending that it's Mars? And Seamus, you believe in the International Space Station, I take it, right?
I believe that if we cannot trust institutions of education and science and the accredited sources that we've come to know, not only in science, but in criminal justice, in our legislature and so forth, if we can't trust these institutions, I think you're going to see more of what we have witnessed and seen over the last couple of years. I think that this type of thinking is divisive. I don't think it brings us together. I think that's where we really disagree, Dave. I think you think that this.
I 100% agree with you. We disagree on that tremendously. You believe that we're going to get into why it matters and why.
Well, I just think that the rejection of objective fact is part of the cancer that has come over society right now.
What do you even mean by that? You're just throwing words out there. Give me one proof of the globe. I gave you 20 of that disprove the globe, but you can't give me one that supports the globe. Not one, other than belief.
I'll tell you my I think my smoking gun, my number one ace in the hole. And you don't want to answer this, but if
don't tell me what I don't want to answer.
If you were to draw a map to scale, then you couldn't tell me how far away the furthest point on the flat Earth is from the other part, because I would show you a commercial jet going there much quicker than what is possible by the
Oh my
amount.
God! Now you're watching Wolfie videos. Come on, man. You are
I don't
watching
know who
all this.
Wolfie is.
I know
I'm
what you're
just
doing.
telling you, there's
Listen,
no way that you could tell me that. First of all, you made one statement about Johannesburg to Santiago. We've never had a flight from there. Do we have endless documents of flights from
we've
Santiago?
never had. Yes, we do. There's tons. There's tons.
Okay,
These are
but you
these
made
are
that statement
real.
earlier.
These are real flight paths. This is a real flight path. This is a real flight. We've tracked these flights. We've had people on these flights. All right, but you believe.
But if it were flat, it would take forever to
No,
get
well, how do you know how fast these planes can go? The plane that goes from Santiago to from Santiago. That's not the image I want. The plane that goes from where'd it go? Here it goes. The plane that goes from Santiago to Australia. This is the path that it takes. Okay. Why does it go all the way up there? And the answer is because it's a straight line. Well, how does it go that speed? Well, the plane that does that, the nonstop flight of this, is a special plane. It has 7 layers of heat-resistant paint. Okay, why does it have heat-resistant paint? Right? There's also, I'm going to share my screen for a second and show you the wind patterns that these pilots use. If I go here, this is an AE projection of the Earth at about 40,000 feet. These wind patterns, those white and pink ones, are going 200 to 300 miles an hour. They take advantage of that. They go in different directions at different times. The direct flights are often canceled because the winds aren't cooperating. And there's often times where they vary by 5 hours. Why did they lose 5 hours if it's just this short little flight? And the answer, which we don't have time for here, and that you can research yourself on this, if you hit the question mark and say, what about pilots and scientists? If you hit that button, up comes a playlist of all of the videos showing you the pilots speaking out about it, on how it happens and what they do. No, they're not all in on it. They are not in on it. See, that's where you're missing. These pilots get in, they take the plane off, they believe the Earth is flat. The control says turn to 790, press a button, and then they go play cards and read a book. They're not doing anything. Now, there are thousands and thousands of pilots that do know. We interviewed one, and she was fired the next day because she was showing us proof that a flight from California to Germany proved the Earth was flat. Okay. Qantas pilots have spoken to us, and they say they all know it, right? They all know it, but they don't talk about it outside of their lounges because they don't want to lose their jobs, right?
You want to hear the other smoking gun that I have, Dave, real quick?
Well, I haven't heard the first one, but go ahead.
3 people can't keep a secret. 3, they can't. I know that they can't. Ask anyone that's ever been in the mob. 3 people cannot keep a secret. You got to kill them. Every single astronaut, every single astrophysicist, everybody who claims to have gone up in a rocket and have seen the Earth from above our atmosphere, all of them are lying, and none of them have been exposed.
All right. So, Seamus, let me answer that for you. No. One at a time. Let me answer that for you. I just don't know
why they're doing that.
You are totally psyopted. You've been Googling. You've been getting everything they've been feeding you. So hang on. Every single thing you're asking me is coming from the programming that either you had in school or that you found by Google results. Did you hear about the Polish astronaut? The Polish astronaut. Did you hear? Did you hear about the Polish astronaut that 2 years ago that said the Earth is flat? I can assure you, no one's been to space. No, you didn't. Did you hear that when
one quack that'll tell you anything? But I mean, if you got all of them together in a room, every single astrophysicist, 99% of them are going to agree with me. None of them are going to agree with you, Dave.
That's wrong.
I don't know that I'm the idiot.
You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. Also, Buzz Aldrin said that the film that they got from the moon was animation. He said it was animation, right? When he was asked why haven't we gone back to the moon, he said because we never went. Okay, there's so much evidence that these guys are lying. Just look at Neil Armstrong. He was a recluse. He wouldn't talk to anybody about this. Just the whole thing that you can't even keep a blowjob a secret. That is a psyop, okay? All of that is a psyop. This is the reason that they're doing this. The reason that they're doing this is because they don't want us to know who we are. They don't want us to know our potential. They don't want us to know that we're at the center of creation. They don't want us to know that we have free will and no one has power over us. The only power governments or anyone else has over you is in your imagination. We are born.
Why is that different on a globe versus a flat disc?
Because once you understand that there's more, that there's no shortages, there's infinite water, there's infinite free energy, there's infinite food, there's plenty of space. Overpopulation is a joke, right? Every family in the world could have a quarter of an acre in Texas. Okay. Right. Yeah. So all of this stuff is just fear because they can't control a free person. They can only control a slave, only control somebody that doesn't realize that their thoughts create their reality. Everyone listening, everyone here, everything that you have in your life is by the way that you think. And if they limit your thoughts to putting it on a prison planet, then your thoughts are limited. If you think that you're spinning out of control, lost in space, where a asteroid could take us out, where we're just perilling through godless or distant God, infinite universe, then you're kind of off kilter.
What is their end goal? I mean,
end goal is to just be the masters of the world. They want to be the kings and have us be the serfs. It's exactly what's going on right now. We've already been slaves. We go to our cubicles and, we play with their monopoly money where they take it back and then hey, I got $2,000 back this year. Oh, they're so good. Well, they forgot about the 25,000 that they took from you. Okay.
I don't see the connection between a free society and a flat versus a globe.
Seamus.
I don't understand how would it free us in any way to accept that the earth is not round?
Maybe they're hiding other continents. Maybe there's other places that we can go to escape the tyranny they don't want us to know about. Maybe they don't want us to know that we have the power, not them. I mean, if everybody woke up tonight to the fact that the earth is flat, that we're at the center of creation, that we're powerful free beings, tomorrow the governments would have zero power. It would be finished. Universities would shut down.
Would you go up in space if Elon Musk invited you?
How about if I put you in a Roadrunner Bugs Bunny cartoon?
You would love that.
Would you be afraid? Would you be afraid that Roadrunner would get you killed or Bugs Bunny would blow you up or something?
I would go up as long as Bill Shatner went up with me.
Well, I am telling you that it's the same analogy. Could I put you in a cartoon? Nobody goes to space. Nobody. Okay.
But what if he invited you? And you could disprove him.
What if Bugs Bunny invited you into a cartoon? Would you go? Okay, it's the same thing. You're
Elon
asking
Musk me. Are you saying he's not real?
Oh my God, he's a puppet, right? Go. You guys are gonna get an email. Hold on, just listen. I'm sending you an automated email after this, and it has a link in it. It's a 5-minute video because that's all you can probably handle. Elon Musk is a fraud, and it shows that every single thing he's done in his life is a lie. Right, but you can continue to believe him. Oh my God, he's so great. He is a moron. He is a Manchurian, mind controlled MK Ultra candidate. Getting back to
Bezos?
Go ahead. Who?
Bezos. He went up in space.
No, Bezos. He didn't. No, he didn't. If you look, they're mocking us with these ridiculous space flights. This is the Bezos rocket. What does his rocket look like? You know what it looks like. Okay, and look how they film it. Every time they film it, the cameraman is shaky in a vertical, not a horizontal position. What's going on here? Go look it up.
They're looping it.
Look,
yeah.
This is not looped. This is their live footage. This is what they show us.
Joe,
this is their live footage.
Is that the real footage? The penis?
100%. Look it up yourselves. Look it up yourselves. Right,
Dave. Play the astronauts with the gravity when like they dropped the wrench and they bent down to get it and stuff like that.
Oh, you mean the astronauts on the moon?
No. When they're on when they're in gravity and they're the
floating.
hairspray.
The
I think they're talking about where the wires show.
Yeah. Like that little compilation.
This is the Argos system, this is what the astronauts actually practice on, right? And then you compare it to their spacewalks, it looks exactly the same, okay? These guys are hanging from wires. This is just ridiculous nonsense that people just believe, right? Yeah.
And monkeys too. I mean, it's just,
what's that?
They're all doing this performance for us. There's so many.
These guys, there's not that many. These guys are liars. These guys are lying.
So
These
many
guys,
liars.
yeah, these guys, at the end of their taping or whatever, their broadcast, all of a sudden everything that was floating, that layer got destroyed. These guys, they're always flipping their microphone around. The guy's flipping his hat around, and then in the background, a guy goes floating by. So I zoomed in. He's way down the hallway. I zoomed in, and you can see his harness, and you can see the wires. What the hell is going on? NASA's answer for that is, oh, it's just for safety. They're hanging from wires in 0G for safety. Okay, that makes no sense, right? But NASA fanboys go, yeah, safety. Because something could happen, right? And then the script was the guy in the blue is supposed to hand the hat to this guy, and he's supposed to put it on the shelf on the wall, but he makes a mistake. They're looking at like another screen behind the camera, or they have contact lenses. He moves his right hand. The guy thinks he's passing him the hat, and he takes it and puts it away. Missed it. They're playing with CGI objects. This is called augmented reality. This is a real ball filled with helium. This is a fake stuffed animal. Okay, watch it again. No animal. There it is. They even put a little beaming noise in there, a little beaming thing, right? It's called leap motion augmented reality. They're manipulating stuff in real time. Okay, all you have to do is catch NASA faking once. Okay, they had the Soyuz came up and delivered some fresh fruit. So they had a lemon, right? And they were playing with the lemon, and it went out of frame for a second. If I could find it, here it is. And the guy went and grabbed it. Watch what happens. Is that a real lemon that goes right through his hand? Right? NASA's response to this is, after they pulled the video down, is, oh, there's so many cosmic rays, it does funny things to the video. That's bullshit. Okay? This is willful ignorance if you don't see that they're faking everything in space. Here, I got a question.
What do you think about the Pentagon released photos of UFOs?
Anything that you don't know what it is in the sky is unidentified.
No, I know,
object.
but we did a show earlier about UAPs, and the Air Force and Navy have recorded technology that's foreign to us, and we don't believe China has it. We don't think anybody could have this propulsion system.
I believe that. So again, I'm not there. The secret space.
Have you heard of it though?
Yeah, absolutely. The secret space program is the secret electromagnetic propulsion system, and I believe that they have way advanced technology that was here before that we came here in the 1800s. They probably had it, and they're traveling across the Earth plane, maybe to the outer spaces. Let me ask you a question. From the space shuttle, from the ISS, how come we don't see any land?
I don't know.
What? Is this from the space shuttle, the space station?
I don't know what you're showing me.
All right, absolutely. See, that's the first smart thing that you said. Sorry, but you're looking. This is what they show us, stuff that doesn't even look this good. Okay, but we filmed this in our front yard. Okay?
When I said 3 people can't keep a secret, that was pretty bright too.
No, it's not. That's ridiculous because there's many conspiracies. So they can. This is us with no budget. NASA gets $65 million a day. They can fake everything, right? They can fake everything.
It's too many.
Do you have the Don Pettit coffee one?
Oh yeah. So Don Pettit was showing us how cool he is. How he got a little plastic container and he was able to put coffee in it, right? And so this is being done in a studio, and this isn't real. But when he lets it go, the coffee or the tape or whatever it is comes out of sync. This shows you right here that this is fake. Why are they faking everything? Why did William Shatner, when he was in space, and Bezos and Branson, they were up there for 4.5 minutes of zero gravity, but you can't find anything longer than 3 seconds. Okay? Cut. Right? If you believe in space, you believe that this rocket launch is real. Okay? Let me just show it to you. Let me find it. Here it is. This is a SpaceX rocket that's going to go to Mars, right? This thing weighs, I don't know, 1 million pounds when it's full of fuel, right? You believe that this thing, right? Oh, nice edit right there. Nice cut. You believe that this little thing, this little flame, this little gas flame, whatever it is pushing this 1,000,000 pounds up there. Where is the thrust? What is going on? Yeah, they're blowing some smoke out of the ground. Look at this thing. Now, let's watch it. This is a low shot because we can tell by the angle. This is, it's up pretty high. Oh, it's low again, right? And wait, where's the thrust? Is this thing going up? Wait, look how high it is. Okay, this is live. This is unedited. Now it's going to fall. It's over 40,000 pounds. It's free falling. Is this free falling? Is this free falling? Or look at the smoke coming off of this. Look at the steam. This thing is barely even moving.
It's a Scud missile. I've seen that same technology with military.
Wait a minute. Now look how high it is. Did you see how slow this thing is moving? Now watch. This thing is free falling. Okay. How is this camera keeping it in? How is it so low? How is it so high again? Wait, now watch. This is called, I call it the unbelievable superhuman cameraman. The engines are going to go on. It's going to flip upright magically. A little bit of flame. Camera gets right underneath it. Amazing. 2 of the 3 engines are going to go out. Okay. This thing's free falling. Look how slow it's going. Look at the smoke. It's moving 2 miles an hour. Okay. And now it's going to land with a bunch of CGI smoke. Cue the smoke. And it's going to land upright. If you believe that this is real, there's nothing I can do for you. You're finished. Right. If you believe that it's totally fake, then all of space travel is fake.
Let's ask one of your fans. We have on the show Brian King. Brian is a fan of Dave Weiss, and he was invited here from Todd. You guys are acquaintances, yeah?
Yeah, I met Todd through a Facebook group.
Yeah, and now you share these similar viewpoints that we've discussed. Can you tell me what your thoughts are on this rocket and what you think about space and the space program in general?
I can't comment on SpaceX and NASA too much. Now, I will say the big thing that Dave has shown today is all the mistakes, the broadcasting mistakes. And David's right. They pull it down real quick. So you're dependent on a very small percentage of people that downloaded the video, captured it somehow. But yeah, a lot of the just initial questions that people have, that's what kind of got me. I went and Googled pictures of the Earth immediately and was like, "Oh my, no."
I do agree though. I do agree. If you find one thing that you think is fake, then why wouldn't everything be fake?
Right.
It doesn't make sense. Why would
how come we have pictures of other planets but we don't have any pictures of Earth? And if you say there are pictures of Earth, you're arguing against NASA, who says there are no pictures of Earth except the one taken from the moon, which is provably false.
NASA says there are no pictures of the Earth?
Yeah, they said they're all composites. Here are 2 images from NASA. How did the United States double in size?
That's what got me.
How did the United States double in size? How come they're photoshopping the clouds? Right? The guy that made this, his name is Robert Simon. He's a graphic visualizer. He said that he was just given data and he created it in Photoshop for the way people expect to see it. And he says he created it in Photoshop because it has to be, right? It can't be any other way. This is a picture they showed us in 2017. They said pollution is really horrible. Look what we've done to the world. It's no longer bright and blue. It's this. But they forgot to change the clouds, okay? They left the same clouds. 2 NASA shots, same clouds. Maybe the weather patterns were the same or they took it on the same day, okay? Baloney. Again, if you make an excuse for this, you're a NASA apologist. Let's go back to this picture. This is something we could actually measure. So here's a picture. We know that this is Mexico and Baja, and we could actually drive across Mexico and go across the bay and cross Baja, and we could scientifically prove that's about 934 miles. Well, NASA tells us the diameter, the diameter of the Earth is 7,917 miles. Then we should take this, which is this size, and I should be able to fit 8.5 of them between here. Straight line, no curvature. Straight line between the diameter. I should fit 8.5. I can't even fit them on this page. Okay? This shows you that this is a painting.
If I told you that we actually have the image result from NASA Earth Pictures and the photography designation and gave you the whole serial number behind it, you would have a quick response for that. And we would just go in a circular pattern with this whole no, it didn't, yes, it did argument.
Let me ask you a question.
my goal is this, is to come away with a true understanding as to why really are they showing us fake space,
To
fake,
make us believe we are insignificant, to make us believe that there's no more out there, to make
Who are
us believe
they?
who are they?
Yeah, I want to know the players.
These players right here: the Council of Foreign Relations, the United Nations, the Bilderberg Group, the city of the Trilateral Commission. These are the players. These are the people that control the world. The royal families, right? These are the bloodlines that have been ruling the earth since the last reset. I don't know how much further because I wasn't there and I haven't talked to anybody that was alive past 1900. Okay. So these are the people that are ruling the earth and they're hiding all of this from us. Free energy. They're hiding our importance. They're hiding that we're created. These are Satanists. Okay. If that's the right word for them. They don't want us in a position where we can deny that there's a creator. Now, I'm not Christian. I'm not Catholic, nothing. Okay. But this world is intelligently designed, and they don't want us to know it. They want us to think that lightning struck, created an amoeba that turned into a monkey, that turned into a human. I don't believe that. That's ridiculous.
Can you explain a lunar eclipse?
Can you? Okay, let me explain. Yeah.
Let me do it. It's when the Earth is directly in between the sun and the moon. Now you go.
Okay, perfect. So, can you explain a Selenian eclipse?
No. That wasn't the question.
That is a lunar eclipse. It's called a Selenian.
How does a lunar eclipse work in your model? That's all.
I'm going to tell you how it doesn't work in your model, and then we could theorize how it works in my model. So,
I'm not taking credit for the model.
Well, you're telling me that a lunar eclipse happens when the Earth gets in between the sun and the moon.
Well, he has a graphic ready to go for every single thing, guys.
Because there's been over 50 documented eclipses. They're calling them Selenians. Don't give me shit if I pronounce that wrong. Where the sun and the moon are above the observer's horizon. That means that the Earth is not in line with them. And the worst part is the last time the shadow came in from the top. Right? If the Earth was coming in line, the shadow would come in from the bottom, and it wouldn't come in until one of them was below your line of sight. Many times has it been filmed where they're both above and it starts. What is causing it? There's all sorts of different theories, dark bodies. I don't know.
What's a dark body?
I don't know. There's bodies that don't emit any light that are noticeable. There's something that NASA even admits, and I forget what it's called. I got to look into it more. There's a dark body that blocks out stars. It moves around, and they never talk about it. But there's times where, like, why can't I see those stars? Oh, it must be a cloud. No, it's this dark body that's orbiting above the Earth. Okay, so how do eclipses happen? There's in the app under eclipses. There's tons of videos. Okay, can I share a video? Well, actually, I'm not gonna do it.
Well, does everyone at NASA working at NASA, do they know the truth? Everybody, or some of them, it's easy to keep them.
So first thing is, not as many people work at NASA as they tell us. It's very limited. Everything is compartmentalized. There was an interview with a flight controller that did the moon missions, and he said in the interview that they practiced with simulated data so many times when the real moon mission happened, they couldn't tell the difference between the simulation. Let that sink in.
But what about the Challenger? They just blow that up for no reason, just to
No,
show...
they blew it up for a major reason, to traumatize kids and to kick the can down the road. But here's the good news. Nobody was on it. Nobody was on it. Happens to be that so far we found 6 of the 7 of them that have identical twin brothers and sisters. And when they're confronted, they all work for universities. This guy, Dick Scobie, I believe it was him, he worked, he had a company called, a corporation called Cows and Trees. And when we found him, his logo, his animation on his website was a cow taking off like a rocket with smoke coming out of its ass, looping around, making the same pattern that the Challenger made. And as soon as we started making videos on that, bam, website disappeared. Now, here's the weird thing. Maybe NASA likes twins, and they hire people because they can measure their bone density. Hey, you didn't go to space, you went to space. Okay. I would argue that twins are closer to each other than regular siblings. It's a good argument. Okay. None of the twins showed up at their sibling's funeral. None of them did. They have the same name, same birth date, and they're working for universities.
I gotta say, Dave Weiss is the DJ Khaled of this conversation. He is of this topic. If you mention any topic at all, within not even seconds, a second, he has a graphic.
Seamus. The reason is because
incredible.
I
You
was
are
programmed like you.
anticipating
I was programmed like you. I know the programming. I know what you're going to ask next. How does the sun set? Why do we see it set from the bottom up? Can I show you that? Because this is it's like a 1 minute thing. You up for it?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
We got all night.
So here is my flat earth kitchen counter, and here is the path of the sun, and it's level. You can see that it's level, and in the video, I show that it's level, and I'm moving the sun across. This right here is an opaque thing. It could be a city skyline, it could be trees, hills, mountain, or just an opaque cloud deck, but I never go below it. I'm above it, and that's it. Now I have a camera on the other side of the counter filming it moving away. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like from a terrestrial point of view. It's going down. If I showed you this first, you would say, oh, that line is going down. And I would say, does it go below this thing that's opaque, that's at my eye level, even though I'm way below it? But in the distance, it looks like it's at eye level. Okay. So now I'm zooming in. Look at this line. This is a level line. This is level. And this is not going below this, but you perceive it to go below it. Now I'm going to compare it to a regular sunset. Watch. The sun's not going to go behind here. It's going to go by there. That line is the atmospheric deck of opacity. That is, it could be a mountain range in the distance that the light just can't get to us, but that is atmosphere. And the sun just goes beyond it. It goes beyond it. This is not going down. This is level. This is level. Okay. And it's going away. Sometimes it gets bigger. Sometimes it gets smaller. It depends on the atmospheric conditions.
Would you say that the followers of the flat Earth theory are enjoying this? Like, is
The
there
the followers, we love truth. We love trying to help people wake up. I was as resistant as you, not as long as you, but I was as resistant. But when I was forced to look, because somebody who I trusted very much said, Dave, you got to look into this. And I looked into it. And even though I was shown stuff that I couldn't reckon, I said, I'm going to disprove this. And then I took the time and effort. Here's the problem. We're not taught to think. We're taught to memorize and regurgitate. We're taught to watch television and cheer for sports teams. We win.
You have to admit, most people are stupid. I mean,
no, yeah, I would admit many people are.
believe the Earth is round. Most people
Well,
are.
that doesn't make them stupid. They were brainwashed from children. You were taught that the Earth was a globe before you could speak. Your parents probably had a mobile of the solar system. You had NASA sheets. Sesame Street had astronauts. Walt Disney had astronauts. It's all programmed. The first worksheet that you bring home in first grade or kindergarten is the orbits of the planets and the moons. Okay, this is all programming. Get a kid from what did Goebbels say? Give me a kid from the ages from birth to 7. I'll own them for the rest of my life. Nobody likes having their ball taken away. It's time to put on your big boy pants, let go of your ball, and figure out who you are, where you are, and the power that we truly have. This is how they're getting away with this COVID nonsense. Right? People are spinning out of control, lost in space, and they think they need the government, the mind control, govern the mind, government, mind, right? They think they need these Satanists to take care of them like mommy and daddy. These people are using us. The people that are, you're trusting with this jibby jabby thing that's going on. You're trusting people, Pfizer and Moderna. These companies rely on us being sick for them to make money. Bill Gates, who is a self-admitted eugenicist who wants to reduce the world population by 90%, is the guy that's out trying to make you healthy. You're insane to believe any of this. Insanity.
You're not vaccinated then.
No chance ever. You can offer me $100 billion and I wouldn't do it.
I will say Dave Weiss is in incredible shape. And if we were in the same room, I'd be a lot less bold about coming at him because I think he could kick my ass.
That is absolutely true. And I actually would kick your ass by this point. Okay.
I believe it.
For part 2, Dave and I are going to wrestle. Todd, you had something that you wanted to say. Was it that NASA has 17,000 people working? Is that what you're going to say?
No, I don't know about the flat. I do agree that the reason we think it's round just because we were told that, like Dave said, as a kid. We don't know. I mean, I think it's round, but We're just going by what people told us. But Dave, I do have a question about the sun that I've never really understood, because I don't think the sun is 93 million miles away. So say it's 70 degrees here, and then we're in Aruba and it's 90. They say that that's because we're closer to the sun. What does it matter if you're 93 million miles or 92,900 miles?
They say it's the tilt of the Earth and the direct rays. So when the northern hemisphere is tilted away from the sun, the rays spread out over a larger area. Okay, I believe that. That was nonsense. But guess what? During our northern winter, we are 3.5 million miles closer to the sun than we are in our summer. Okay, so the 3.5 million miles, it's only like 1 or 2% of the distance. That's fine. Okay, but think about this. At sunrise here in Connecticut, at sunrise on June 21st, the summer solstice, as soon as the sun appears on the horizon, I could feel that heat on my face. Okay, if I was blindfolded, so I couldn't see any light, boom, there's the sun. I can feel the heat. And within 5 minutes, it's hot. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then in December 21st, when it's the middle of our winter, when the sun is at solar noon, the highest it is in the sky for that day, a much more direct angle, and it's 3.5 million miles closer, I could look at the sun. I can't even feel the heat on my face. That blows away the tilted ball theory for anything. This video I'm showing right here blows away the tilted ball. But let me show you how the seasons actually work. All right. So let me get back out of here. Where am I? So the sun goes around the Earth. It circles around once every 24 hours, and it migrates in between the Tropic of Capricorn and the Tropic of Cancer. I'm going to move it out to the Tropic of Capricorn, which is that outer yellow line. And when it goes over Southern Africa or Madagascar, it's directly over their head. It's high in the sky. It's the height of their summer. It's directly on them. They have these long days, right? When it goes over Australia, it's directly over them. So now I'm going to move it to June, and it goes over the Tropic of Cancer. And look, it's going right over Miami, high in the sky. It's friggin' hot in Miami in June, right? Mexico, California, hot because the sun is directly over. It's going right over Death Valley, right? It's winter. It's winter in Australia because the sun is farther away. It's farther away. Alaska gets 24 hours of sun because the sun never gets far enough away. It just goes around, and Alaska can see it the whole time. Norway can see it the whole time because they're in the center. Anything inside this yellow line is the Arctic region, and anything outside this yellow line, the Tropic of Capricorn, is the Antarctic region. Now, why it should be called the Northern Arctic and the Southern Arctic? The reason is, if you're inside this Arctic circle, the sun is arcing around you. It's arcing around you. Look, it's arcing around you. Anyone inside that yellow line. Now, if you're out here in Antarctica, outside this Tropic of Capricorn, it's not arcing around you. It's coming towards you and away from you. It's antarcing. It's antarcing to and fro. It's not arcing around you. That's how seasons work.
Falling off the edge.
Okay. That is, you know what? I say there's no dumb questions. That's the dumbest question of them all. All right.
How is that a dumb question?
The absolute dumbest, because I've already told you.
Flat Earth, and I'm asking you where the edge is. Right, I think that's the most obvious question.
So if you're on a lake in Kansas, let's take a smaller scale model. Kansas, big flat area. You got a lake. We'll just make it 100 miles around. And there's all these islands. You sail around those islands for a couple of days. All good. Sailing clockwise, you're going west. Counterclockwise, you're going east. If there was a magnet in the center of the lake, well, that's your mini world. Now you sail away from the center in any direction. You're going to hit what? Not the edge of a disc. You're going to hit the shoreline. Antarctica is bigger than all of the continents and all of the oceans combined.
How would I get to a shoreline if I keep going to the edge of the Earth?
This is the edge of the Earth right here. This is the shoreline of our world pond, our world oceans. Now, how far does it go? What's out here? We don't know, because in 1959, they put up the Antarctic Treaty. Nobody can go out there, even though they supposedly said, Admiral Byrd reported that there's land bigger than the United States beyond the pole. That's a problem. And
wait, Antarctica surrounds the entire world?
Absolutely. And here's how we can.
Shit.
Yes.
That's like a guess, though, right?
Well, so here's the thing. here's the thing: if you go if you go to Antarctica, people say, "Oh, there's no proof of the ice wall." Well, there is proof of the ice wall, but it's not really a wall. Game of Thrones makes you think that it's a wall that you can piss off the end, but that's not it at all. Antarctica is the shoreline of the world pond. Okay, it's the shoreline of the world pond. We're not a disc floating in space that you can fall off. If you go to Antarctica, this is where the sun never gets close enough, so it's permanently frozen. Antarctica is colder than the North, which makes no sense in the heliocentric model because during its winter, during our winter. Wait a minute, hold on. It should be friggin' colder in the North, and I'm having a brain fart right now. But when you get to Antarctica, this is the ice wall they're talking about. What's out here? We can only speculate. It's off limits. 1959, the treaty went into effect. You can't question it until the year 2041. No treaty has ever lasted that long. Okay, and this is a treaty because we want to protect the penguins and the ice. Okay.
So if you were one of the people that went on a trip to Antarctica, can you get out and like look around?
No, you absolutely cannot. We had friends that just
Antarctica.
Yeah, and they cost $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000. Right? They take you right here to this little peninsula, and you're barely allowed off the boat. Maybe if you're lucky, they'll take you 10, 20, 30, 50 miles out here, maybe, and they'll show you a ceremonial South Pole, and then you got to go. No independent travel out here. But hey, Seamus, since we're anything beyond this pink line is speculation, what if the Earth was set up like this? What if this was Antarctica, and out here is extra territory, extra land? Okay? Why are all the telescopes in the southern countries looking out? Looking out. They're not looking up. They're looking across. They're looking south. What if there's extra territory out here? If you lived here in this outer area and you lived on this extra terra land, you might be considered an extraterrestrial from outer space if you came to visit. Okay?
Is Alaska dark for 6 months out of the year? Is that
Absolutely. It is.
Oh, it is.
Absolutely. And that's because when the sun is over the Tropic of Capricorn, out here, it never gets close enough to Alaska to rise. It never gets close enough to rise. And then it spirals in, and then it never gets far enough to set. And if the Earth was a ball, we'd have the same conditions in the South 6 months apart. But there is, when the sun is close to Alaska and it's not setting, it never gets near Antarctica and it never rises. Okay, you got your 24 hours of night. You got your long, long nights. It goes on for months or whatever. But when the sun, if the Earth was a ball and we went out here, we should have 24 hours of sun, but we don't. We do have 24 hours of light, and that's a whole nother thing we don't have time for. But you don't see the sun for 24 hours like you do in Alaska. You want to prove the Earth is a globe? Here's how you do it. Neil deGrasse Tyson, you listening? We can end this debate in one day, 2 airplanes, bring them to Antarctica. We'll get on there. Seamus, you and I will get on there. Neil will get on there. Professors will get on there. Pilots will get on there. We'll get everyone on there. And the plane takes off and just follows the coastline, staying just off the shore, about 1,000 feet, so you can see the coastline the whole way. Everyone's looking out the left window. Here, everyone's looking out the right window. And this is 13,000 miles around. So 6,500 miles later, both planes should meet over here. The problem is it's not going to happen. One, they're not going to let you do it. The last person to try to circumnavigate Antarctica was Captain Cook, and it took him 3.5 years. He went over 60,000 miles. 60,000 miles. The equator is only 24,000 miles. Antarctica is supposedly 13,000 miles around. He went over 60,000 miles trying to circumnavigate Antarctica because this is Antarctica. This is Antarctica, the shoreline that surrounds our world. Every bit of science proves this. Every test for axial rotation, for curvature, has failed. Everyone by every scientist that's been done over the last couple of 100 years has failed. And they don't tell you that in school.
It can't be illegal to visit Antarctica.
Okay,
nobody owns Antarctica.
No, hold on. All these countries have, and maybe you can get there, but people have been arrested. Boats have been threatened to be sunk.
Have?
Yes, absolutely. People. I forget the guy's name, but you can look it up. And it's in the app under What About Antarctica. All the videos are there. All the guys that like Colin O'Brady that said he crossed Antarctica. Literally, he went from here. He went over here, then he came over here, and then he was picked up. Okay, that's not crossing Antarctica. He just skirted the friggin' coast. All right, but there's a video in there called Sorry, Antarctica's Closed, done by a lawyer, flat earther. It's about 35 minutes maybe. And he went through all of the paperwork and everything. If you want to go to Antarctica, it's going to cost you between $200,000 and $2 million in permits. It's going to take you over a year or two for them to reject it, and they keep the money. Okay? So good luck.
If the earth is flat, now you can, I'm not saying you do, but you can fly off the edge, right? If we were in a
No,
plane.
not if it's an endless. We don't know how far it goes. Okay? It could be an endless plane. It could just go on and on and on and on. There could be a dome.
So that's
There could-
space, in other words. Yeah,
Well,
okay.
that's the outer space. We live in the inner space, right? We don't know what's out here. Maybe there's no dome. Maybe it's infinite. Maybe it's
So if we
extended.
keep flying, we will eventually hit desolate, like
So
like
they-
whiteness.
They change. Well, you're gonna hit darkness because there's no there. Well, at least our sun isn't out there. But in 1959, they changed all the encyclopedias. The Encyclopedia Americana talked about a domed surface at 80 degrees south, about 13,000 feet high. The dome is at 13,000 feet high. It's in the encyclopedia. Those encyclopedias have been
You
removed.
know who would disagree with you?
Everybody.
Amelia Earhart would have a lot to say about that.
Yeah. So this is how dumb you are, Seamus. Amelia Earhart. Okay, this is the path that she took. She went around east.
Are you calling me an ignoramus?
I am. I'm calling you willfully ignorant at this point because I've explained this to you already. This is her trip. She went east, 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 east. That doesn't mean she's on a ball. She made a fucking circle on a flat earth. Okay, Seamus, you are willfully ignorant at this point. Willfully.
Well, it seems that I've been drinking the Kool-Aid that they want me to drink on.
We
both
all
the-
drank it, but some of us are willing to put the effort in and realize, you know what? I've been lied to my whole life. My entire fucking life was a lie, and I've admitted it. And I've gotten rid of that, and I'm a better fucking person for it. Life is awesome right now. Never bored, new friends, amazing world.
I can only imagine. I mean, the community that this attracts, it's a very salacious topic, and I know that you've got a lot of followers. So you're kind of
It's
like
not followers. I have friends. They're not followers. They're people we're researching together. We're compiling our stuff. I'm just out here with a big mouth, willing to talk to people that are unwilling to learn, like you.
Dave,
I'm willing to learn. It's just that
You're not willing to learn. I told you about circumnavigation three times already, and you don't see it.
Very
Wait,
difficult
here,
to absorb that there's this much this much dishonesty in the world, and it's kind of flown in our face for so long under the guise of
Seamus,
both a round planet.
Let's see how willing you are to
being
learn.
real and Sandy
Admit
Hook
to
being
me
real.
that Amelia Earhart didn't circle a globe. Admit it. Admit it that she wouldn't have a problem if I showed her this.
But I mean, it's just
You can't concede to anything.
there are a
I'm
lot of
destroying you, and you
gone in a
can't
straight line
concede
that
to
have ended
anything.
up in the same spot as they've begun.
You can't concede to anything. You are a dedicated globe earther. I get
I
it.
think you could turn that around on yourself and say the same thing. I think you're willfully.
Absolutely not. I'm one that was willing to
I
change
think
my
you're
mind.
turning a blind eye to way more evidence.
Okay,
that
give
I'm
me
right
one
than
piece
you
of
are.
evidence. Wait. Every nail killer every nail in the coffin that you had, I've completely destroyed. Give me one thing. You
Well, I
said
think you've got a lot of buzzwords, and you've got a lot of
buzzwords.
meat
You've got
reactions.
nothing. At least I have fucking buzzwords. All right. This isn't buzzword. This is the path that she took.
I have all of science in my.
What
corner.
science?
All
Name
of-
it. Name
I
it.
have
Name
the
one
entire
piece of science.
scientific community. in
No.
my-
Scientific community. What? Name one piece of science.
No. Look at this is what I know because the experts have told
What
me. it's
experts?
true.
Tell me. What experts? The
Physics.
physics. That's a word. You're just using words, dude.
You really
Kindergarten
need me
teacher.
to,
Oh,
to-
my
to
God.
dissect the etymology of physics and
No. I know what physics is. I know what. Here's physics. You can't
You know
have
what?
high pressure next to zero pressure or low pressure without a physical barrier. Well, how do we have a torus 17 vacuum of space and a pressurized atmosphere? How come it doesn't suck all the air off of Earth? And
Do you
don't
know
say
how
gravity.
unlikely it is that the Earth is flat, 9/11 didn't happen, and Sandy Hook didn't happen? Do you know how unlikely it is that all of those things are false? Do you see why it's problematic to believe anything that you're saying about
Seamus,
any of those singular events?
I have to tell you, this video is going to go viral. Okay, this video is going to go viral. You are the dumbest fuck I have ever talked to. I like you, but
Thank
you're the
you.
dumbest fuck I have ever talked to.
That was Nicole also.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Dumbest.
Well,
Dave, tell us about Friend Finder on your app. I want to know about that.
Yeah, let me show you real quick, and then
I have the app.
Yeah. So on the app, people say there's no flat earthers. If you click the handshake, up comes. These are all the flat earthers that are out there. Okay, this is just near me. And you can message them on the app right now. We have 28,000 people that have registered. You can send a group message right now. I just crossed 200. Nice. 200 people within 50 kilometers. I can send them all a message like, hey, we're all meeting at the little pub on Saturday. Come on down. Bam. Instant meetups. You can, if you're a flat earther and you're like going to a flea market and you're like, hey, I'm selling flat earth stuff at the local flea market, you can tell everyone around you, hey, come on down. It's the ultimate tool for reaching out to people. And again,
isn't that the appeal of all this, Dave? Isn't the community that this attracts and all the attention and
that's
how
not
much
why
more
I went. That's
special you are than I am, and the people that believe what
you know what
we've
that
been
is.
told
That
in
is the
school?
dumbest thing ever.
Isn't that the appeal of conspiracy theories in general? Not just this,
Well,
but Sandy
okay.
Hook, 9/11, and
Seamus,
anything. Elon Musk is a robot. I mean, the
Seamus.
list goes on and on. I mean, isn't it more fun to believe things that are kind of offbeat than?
I want to thank you. I want to thank you for really confirming my last statement. I said that you're the dumbest fuck in the world because you just totally proved it even more. Okay, when you get into this, you don't make friends. You have everyone. I lost family members. I lost best friends for life. There's people that I'm losing all the time. Right. But that's okay. That's their journey. I don't hate them. They hate me. That's fine. You don't get into this because you want to feel better. You get into this because the truth is better. I don't live in a lie. I live in an amazing world. I know that I'm at the center of creation. I've taken my power back. My life is amazing. In the last 2 years, since this whole nonsense started, best years of my life. How's everything else going? Okay. I'm doing great. And the whole world could be great if people wake up. So I didn't do this. That comment is the dumbest thing ever.
Cruise together to Antarctica. That's the next show.
Yeah, that would be great. Set it up. I'm in. Just get it funded. Get like $30 million and the approval from all the governments. I'm in.
I think you and I are going to be fast friends. This is just the beginning, Dave Weiss.
Well, I'm going to have to disagree on that, even though I do like you. You're all right. You seem like a good guy. You're just dumb as fuck. All right.
There's not a damn thing I can do about that.
That is true, Dave.
Yeah.
That is true. He is dumb as fuck, and it's not just on this stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe. I knew you'd have my back.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I've said about Joe Aguirre is he's a stand-up guy.
Yeah. And you know what? The saying that 9/11, Sandy Hook, Boston, dude, forgot about Boston, right? Anyone that's listening.
Also, nobody bombed us in Boston.
Oh my God, so crazy.
Now that one hits close to home. I actually have family members that were there.
Yeah. Well, did they die? Did they see anyone?
They did.
Listen,
They
you saw
did.
nothing.
It was
You
a
saw
really
nothing.
traumatic death.
You saw nothing.
Now, that didn't happen.
You saw nothing. Okay.
So I saw
listen,
nothing, but
if
my
you want
brother-in-law did.
the friggin' truth, go to stoplookthink.com, pull up the Boston bombing, and start watching the videos there, looking at the facts, and then you'll be able to see. I can't explain it right here because I did a 3-hour expose on Caravan at midnight that blew everyone away. All right. But you're not going to do it. You're not going to watch it anything longer than a minute. You're not going to watch it. So
right after him.
You are willfully ignorant now. Willfully.
Well, I'll get there. We just need more time. Dave White.
Your mind is controlled by cartoons. Okay. By cartoons. Right. If you want to find me, you can find me at Flat Earth Dave. Has all the links, the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. Check it out. It's $3. You do not need to subscribe unless you want to send messages to other flat earthers. And just read the reviews. Read the reviews. It's the highest rated app. I'm in the top 100 apps in the world right now on iTunes, on App Store. And just read the reviews because everyone loves it. So whether you want to be a blue dot, it's up to you.
Can't thank you enough for coming on the show. In all sincerity, Dave Weiss, I know that you've been a good sport. I know there was some ball breaking.
I just noticed your last name.
To push our guests
that
a little bit, and I think you took it admirably.
I just realized your name on the screen is Seamus Ignoramus. Okay.
Yeah.
Seamus Ignoramus.
Ignoramus. All right.
Absolutely.
Whatever.
So there you go.
All right.
I didn't lie.
But he's not playing a character, Dave. That's really how he
Is that
acts.
really him? Is that really?
Oh
Yeah.
no, I'm quite subdued. I'm like,
Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. you know what? It's probably best if you wake up, you might not be able to handle it. The shock might be too much because you believe too much nonsense to really
Well, I
see
just
it.
think that there's a lot of distrust in this world right now, and I think that some of it is okay. But I think to the degree that it's gotten to, we've gotten to a point now where we can't even tell someone they're on fire. They'll tell you it's fake news, and we can't save ourselves from ourselves. So I just find that this type of thought process it's flirting with a dangerous line.
Well, that's a
where
ridiculous thought. That's a ridiculous way to think, and that's going to
we
keep
can
you a
get
slave
into
for
a
the
very
rest.
destructive mode of not trusting anything.
Yeah. So
from
now
anyone.
just believe your slave masters.
We don't trust
your.
the government. We don't trust anybody.
All right.
Eventually.
So you should trust them because otherwise it's
No,
too
I want to
dangerous.
trust you, but where
Listen,
does it end?
don't trust me. Don't believe anything I'm saying. Go check it yourself.
Do we need to trust somebody to survive?
Yeah. Trust yourself. Trust
Do your own
God-given
research,
senses.
Seamus.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Seamus.
Do your own research. That's the best.
So listen,
Fucking
guys, we gotta wrap this up. But tell me, wait, you have to load this tonight because I am sharing this. Whether I'm going to share yours or my recording of this, you have to upload this tonight because I need to share this immediately. Okay, I need to share this immediately. So will you guys upload this tonight or do I have to wait?
Dave, I will
you can run
upload
with
this as soon as this ends. I gotta real quick edit because I want to put the intro on.
Yeah,
and
perfect.
I'm gonna get
And
this thing
I
up
will
in 2
share. I
seconds.
will not publish my copy if your copy's up, and I will share this on the app. I will put this everywhere. I will tell everyone to watch this because this is what's wrong with the world right now. Seamus, you are what's wrong with the world.
I believe there's a round 2. We should have a trilogy. I think this is just the beginning, Dave.
Well, yeah, let's talk about other stuff,
All
know,
right.
like the vax and everything else.
yeah,
No,
we're
we
gonna get
can't.
to
No,
that
no,
next
no. We can't get it. Let's not go there because that'll get censored right off of YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I think there's a lot there, and I think that you're a charismatic and knowledgeable guy, and I don't think that there's a dull moment in this show or any show that we would have with you, Dave. I sincerely thank you for coming on.
I appreciate it, Seamus, and I just want to throw it back at you to say you are the most indoctrinated, dumbest guy I've ever met on this type of topic. All right?
So much.
All right.
Thank you so much, Dave,
Thanks,
for
Dave.
coming back.
All right, guys. Hey,
I wanna be as- I wanna be as far from your
do I have your
logic as
do I have your
possible, so
email?
I
I
will
want
be
to
the
send you the
dumbest shit in the
thumbnail. Do I have your email? Send it to me. Info at the Flat Earth Podcast. Just send it to me, and I'll send it to you in 10 minutes. All right.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you for
Appreciate it.
coming on too.
All right, guys. See ya. Thanks.
Thank you.
All
Bye-bye.
right, bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.